Hey guys, so I believe this is episode 5 of making $20,000 before the end of the year, and quite frankly, it's not happening. Let me explain why. It's not like I'm trying to be unrealistic or anything, just let me explain everything. First, we'll go over a few things. So, I don't know, I'm gonna start this honestly just yapping about my business and stuff. So, 3 weeks ago, yeah, 3 weeks ago, I worked like a lot, and I got like 3 Zoom meetings in 1 week, which was 2 weeks ago. And yeah, that was insane, honestly. And like I was working like full efficiency. You won't even understand how efficient I was. And then after that, university started, and then when it did start, I pretty much got into a new system, and then from there a few other things happened. I just like my efficiency dropped down for like 2 whole weeks. I didn't do any cold calling, any Zoom meetings. I did a bit, just pretty much no Zoom meetings, no results, nothing. I did a bit of work here and there, just not much, honestly. And then yeah, also I started university a bit late, so yeah, there was no work being done. But yeah, yesterday I got back to the system, to the grind, and now I'm back. I was in a slum. It just happens sometimes. Also, the thing with uni, just a quick thing, is that first week and a half I basically played basketball and like went to the gym and was swimming and stuff like that after uni, so when I was done because I finished early. But then I got back home and I was like very tired, so I couldn't do much work. And so I decided, well, I'm just gonna stop doing that. So I prioritized the work, obviously. But then the situation, I'm still like contemplating, was that a good choice, Because pretty much if I keep doing this for like 2 or 3 weeks, then maybe I'll stop getting gas stars because I'd get used to it. Just don't think it's worth it. I'm not sure, honestly, but up till now I've made the decision to just stop doing those things. So that's what I've been doing. Just been getting back home earlier, getting a bit of like studying or work done for like an hour or two, and then like the cold calling period starts, and I can just start cold calling. Also, speaking of decisions I've made, well, not decisions, but basically like opinions. So after a conversation with a very good old friend of mine, um, I was for randomly like got intrigued into watching some of my older videos, and as I was watching a bit of them, I was like, quite honestly, there are still quite a few things I agree with. I think I was completely stupid. There are quite a few things I agreed with, but then I just sometimes listen to things which I said which I just disagree with at this point in my life, and I thought maybe I should just delete all my old videos and start fresh. You know what I'm saying? But then I decided against it. That it just kind of ruins the point of this whole thing, because I believe that every year I look back at the previous year and I think that my opinions are shit, and I just become kind of like a cycle of like deleting the previous year's videos because I think they're bad, but then it just won't get me anywhere. Just I think just this is just gonna show the growth, sorry, that has happened over the years and just happens, I guess. So yeah, I made a few mistakes in the past, but I've been working on them and changing my opinions and my beliefs as we speak. Still in a young age, so things change. Not really a big deal. What else do I have to say? Oh yeah, about the $20,000 a month thing. So, contrary to what some might think, I was actually quite on track towards achieving this. So I started my marketing company, I think maybe June, yeah, June, and then like or like maybe late May, and I decided, okay, by the end of June I'm gonna have a client, and then I couldn't get that done. Then July and then August. Well, basically, in August I got my first client, and yeah, that might seem to be a bit late, like it took a bit long, but honestly, getting my first client by August, I was actually on track towards making the $20,000 by the end of the year. And the reason being is that since I got my first client in August, I would be done with him in September, and then from there, if I got him good results, obviously he'd work with me for a second month or third month or whatever, and he'll pay me. And then I have like quite a few people I've hopped onto Zoom meetings with, and people just I've cold called, and many people said like they're willing to work with me, They just need proof of concept and like proof that they can actually do this. But quite frankly, due to multiple reasons which I've actually analyzed quite well, I couldn't get results from my first client. And basically, due to these people wanting to work with me, and plus my ability to have gotten new people to work with like new clients, because obviously with proof of concept I can get newer clients much faster. And then also with the fact that that the current client, if I got him good results, he would have kept working with me. By the end of the year, I probably would have made over 20k, maybe even. Just really depends on how it would have worked. But pretty much, yeah, I would have actually reached my goal or been like close to it at the very least. I would have been on target, and so everything was going well. But as I don't know, some of you might know, just couldn't get good results for the client. And then after like I couldn't get him the results and stuff, since during the client period, that was the period I took it like as a rest after like a year and a half just relentless working. I took that period of having my client as a bit of a rest because I couldn't get new clients because of my offer. It's a long story, but basically I had to pretty much just stay with this one client, and there's not really much work to do with just one client, so I'd do the work for him, but then I'd have more time to enjoy myself and stuff like that during that 1 month. So I spent like 2 weeks adapting, and then after that I got 2 weeks of like good efficient work done, got a lot of Zoom meetings, couldn't close any of them, and after that I got 2 weeks done, and now I'm just back on track. And since my schedule is now stable again, I believe that's going to be like that for a good amount of time, where I am still efficient for a good period of time, I believe. And so I right now my goal is to get my first client technical. It's going to be my second client. Just get a client from the start all over again. Act like I've never done this before. And when I get the client this time, I need to get him good results, learn from the mistakes I made, and also what else? Yeah, there's one more thing which I haven't yet been able to figure out a reason for the failure. But anyways, we're gonna figure that out in a bit, shortly, inshallah. And so yeah, once I get that client, I'll be able to, if I get him good results, I'll be able to, kickstart the rest of it. Because honestly, after I get my first client, things will start moving much, much quicker, and that's just going to help out a lot. And so I just need to get that first client, and that's just currently the priority to get, technically my second client now. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing in terms of work. Yeah, so overall, up to now, started university, so that's been a bit crowded for me since I started late and I had to revise the things which I missed. And then there's also been the fact that, I had this certain, I have lots of personal things going on right now. So that's dropping efficiency. It's not really because, they're taking up a lot of time, but rather they're quite frequent. So I don't need to go that often, leave my, setup for long periods of time. But every 20 minutes or 30 minutes, I'd have to leave for 5 minutes and go do something. And then from there is a unloading time and the loading time. So for me, if I sit down, I might take 10 minutes to get into the zone, but then when I start actually working, I work for a long period of time. But if I have to keep getting up and then getting back and then loading up, and it became quite a bit of an issue. But that is going to be solved soon, and so that is for that. And then also, yeah, there's been some efficiency issues, and there's been the whole business issue. So yeah, at the end, even if I get my first client, because I'm going to go back to a free retainer offer for certain reasons. And so even if I do get my first client, right now it's October 29th when I'm recording this. So even if I do get my first client by the 1st of November, which is very recent, which is likely not going to happen this quickly. But even if I do get that, my second client technically, sorry, by the 1st of November, I'll be done with him by the 1st of December. And then from there, if I want to get new clients with paid and everything, I'm not going to make $20,000 in 1 month. So pretty much it's unrealistic. But right now the goal is by the end of the year, I need to have a paying client. So within November, I should basically the goal is within November, I need to get my free client, free retainer, get him, get good results, and then that way I can get paid client before the end of the year. And that's just the goal, because if I get that done, then I can just start my journey and make a lot more next year. That's currently for that. Yeah, so that's currently my life. What else? Oh yeah, on Friday I went out with a friend, enjoyed it for a bit, I guess. But yeah, I guess it changed up the mood and stuff, because I just pretty much don't leave my home. Since I started uni, I've been leaving my house quite a bit because I have to go to uni. But other than that, I just pretty much don't leave my house much. So that was good. I managed to enjoy myself. Oh yeah, and then there's one more thing I wanted to mention before I end this recording, and it's that I pretty much did actually want, when I started YouTube, I wanted to record more of my life, more of my day-to-day, what I actually do and stuff like that, because keep it as a record. In the future you'd look back on this and I'd see that the whole journey and how I progressed. But quite frankly, I'm just not putting in enough effort and time into YouTube anymore. Just don't have the time for that, or the effort and the brain power to be focusing on YouTube. And instead of actually focusing on the moment, I have to focus on setting up my phone in a certain way to record it, and it's became quite a bit of an issue. That's why I just stopped that for now. But don't worry, after the SMA starts working out and I start getting quite a few clients, consistent income, I can detach myself more, because right now I'm pretty much a one-man team, so I have to do this all by myself, every single thing. But after I get a few clients, I can hire someone for this, hire someone for that, and then after I become more detached and just focus on meetings, I'd have more time to embrace other activities like YouTube and stuff like that. So from there, I'd be sharing my life, and hopefully by then it'll be much better. So that's currently the goals, what I'm doing, how I'm doing things. Um, yeah, I hope everyone's doing great. If anyone has any comments, any ideas, anything they want to mention, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, right now it's currently like 11 o'clock. So I'm just gonna be getting back to some cold calling. Oh yeah, speaking of cold calling, I actually realized that after I started cold calling, my accent has become much more American, which I hate because, when you cold call, you'd want to sound like them. So it's not like I hate the American accent. It's still a good accent. Just I don't know. I'm not used to it. Just sometimes happens. Like just randomly, it just sounds odd for me. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just gonna get back to some cold calling maybe today to like 1:30, because even though like in California, which is the highest time zone different state, basically I can cold call from 4 p.m. till 3 a.m. because there is a time zone which I can cold call from 4 p.m. There's like California ends at 3 a.m. for me. So pretty much like 3 a.m. for me is 5 p.m. for California. But then the issue comes is that no one's actually picking up the phone after 4 o'clock or 3:30. The owners have already gone back home. So usually around 1:30 my time I just stop calling. And yeah, on nights where I have uni the next day, so when I have uni I need to wake up at 6 a.m. So at nights when I have uni the next day, I sleep at 2, so I get 4 hours. And at nights when I don't have uni, I sleep at 4, and I wake up at 9, so I get 5 hours. So that's how currently my schedule has been going. During the day, usually it spends mostly like how it goes is 1 hour of studying, just literally 1 hour. Because quite frankly, even though like for most part I don't usually need to study, but then now like there's stuff like biology and stuff like that, and I just not good at that. Honestly, just never been the best memorizer out there, and so I need to actually study for a bit. So I study around an hour a day. I read for like an hour a day, reading this book about like different physics scientists and stuff like that's kind of cool, honestly. And like it's just a random bunch of topics, and it was just kind of fun. I obviously work for a few hours a day, and yeah, I work out. So even though it's like back then I work out at uni, now just back at home, get a quick workout done just to quickly freshen up. Sometimes don't honestly do it as much. Back then I used to be consistent with it, but now it's like not really my main priority. And now just doing maybe like a 4 or 5 times a week, I guess I work out. And then what else do I do? That's mainly it, honestly. Just mostly work and other things. Well, yeah, I've been also busy with personal circumstances. However, soon within the next 2 weeks, I should be moving, and so yeah, from there I'd be much more free to do work, and also I'll pretty much be alone. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Anyways, we'll have to see what we can do. Have a good day, good night, good afternoon, everyone. And yeah, thanks for watching 13 minutes and a half of me yapping. I just would let it be 13:30, and here we go.